An NBA player signs a contract. The celebration fades quickly, leaving one question: what makes this individual worth that amount? That question points in the wrong direction if it treats salary as payment for one performance. A contract reflects the value of professional basketball, the role players play in creating that product, and the rules governing how its value is shared. The paycheck is not a mystery inside one athlete. It is the output of a system. To understand it, we have to follow the money backward, from the contract to the business around the game, and finally to the negotiation defining the player's share. To understand the salary, think of basketball as an entertainment product. A game has value because people watch, follow, discuss, and organize their attention around it. That value comes from a chain. Players perform, the league organizes competition, teams present it to an audience, and the audience gives it commercial importance. The player is visible at the center, but the paycheck connects to the whole structure. Looking only at scoring can make a large salary seem disconnected from the work. Looking at basketball as a professional entertainment business changes the question. How is that value assigned, and what determines the portion reaching players? The NBA is a business built around a recurring entertainment product. Professional basketball played by highly skilled athletes. The product is organized competition and the attention it creates, not merely a ball, court, or single player. A player's labor helps produce the event presented to an audience, which is why individual salaries can be large. A contract cannot be explained only by the difficulty of one move or a player's points. It must also be understood through the league's overall value. The league supplies the structure. Players supply the performance people watch. But recognizing value is only half the explanation. The central question remains: who decides how that value is divided? Players do not approach that question only as individuals. They have a union, the National Basketball Players Association, or NBPA. According to its stated mission, it represents NBA players, protects and advances their rights, and advocates on their behalf. That changes the meaning of salary negotiation. An individual contract exists within a larger labor relationship, whose terms are negotiated through a collective institution. The NBPA negotiates collective bargaining agreements, which establish the framework for salaries, benefits, and working conditions. The union gives players a common negotiating position, connecting individual pay to rules negotiated for the group. That is the key institutional fact behind the money machine. Collective bargaining means the terms of work are negotiated between organized players and the league, rather than determined entirely by one side. The agreement connects the entertainment business to the individual contract. Professional basketball creates value, and the labor relationship determines how players participate in it. This does not mean every player receives the same amount. It means individual contracts exist within common boundaries and principles. Skill can affect a player's position in the market, but the market operates according to negotiated rules. The result is not simply an owner's generosity. Collective bargaining converts the league's overall value into terms that apply to players, allowing them to secure a share of the money their work helps create. Separate value from distribution. The league can create a valuable entertainment product, but that alone does not determine an individual's earnings. Distribution requires rules established through the collective bargaining relationship represented by the NBPA. A salary reflects two questions: how much value does basketball create, and what arrangement determines the player's share? The first concerns the size of the machine, the second, its design. Individual ability is essential, but it operates within a negotiated system. A contract emerges where an athlete's contribution, the commercial value of professional basketball, and collectively bargained terms meet. It is better understood as a negotiated claim on an organized business than as a simple price tag on one performance. Scarcity also clarifies the picture. A skill can command a high price when relatively few people can perform it at the required level, and when that performance is central to a valuable product. This does not mean every talented player receives the same salary, or that talent automatically determines one. It explains why elite performance matters within the larger machine. Players work in a setting that depends on a limited supply of people meeting its standard. Scarcity explains why an individual's labor can be valuable. Collective bargaining explains how players negotiate compensation as a group. One without the other is incomplete. The paycheck sits where those ideas meet. Put the mechanism together. Professional basketball is an entertainment product built through the relationship among the league, teams, audience, and players. Players perform the central work. The NBPA represents them as a labor union and negotiates agreements covering salaries, benefits, and working conditions. Individual contracts exist within that environment. A salary, therefore, reflects more than visible actions in one game. It reflects a place in a valuable business and a claim shaped by labor rules. Talent explains part of the value, but not the bargaining structure. League revenue explains the business, but not how players obtain their share. The money machine becomes clear when product, worker, and agreement are connected. The NBPA shows why organizing workers matters. It gives individual players a collective representative able to address terms affecting the entire group. Its stated work includes negotiating a collective bargaining agreement, prosecuting a grievance on a player's behalf, and counseling players on benefits and educational opportunities. The union therefore deals with more than a contract number. It addresses rights, workplace terms, and career support. Most important here, the collective agreement makes compensation part of a negotiated labor system and gives players a role in determining working conditions. The NBPA was established in 1954, providing the organized channel through which players advocate for their interests. This structure is built around representation and negotiation. Return to the number on the NBA contract. It is not simply a reward for one spectacular game or talent alone. Professional basketball is an entertainment product created through the combined work of the league, teams, players, and audience. The NBPA represents NBA players, and collective bargaining produces agreements covering salaries, benefits, and working conditions. That process connects the paycheck to the league's larger value. A player can be highly compensated because exceptional ability matters, because it is performed at the center of a valuable product, and because players can negotiate their share of the value they help create. The salary is the visible result of an entertainment business, scarce and central labor, and a collective agreement.